Welcome to the Enduro Method Podcast. Enduro Method is an online strength and conditioning program built for those who ride by those who ride. We are professional coaches dedicated to building the best and most revolutionary off-the-bike training for dirt bikers around. We are offering a special discount for our podcast listeners. Use discount code EMPodcast22 for 50% off your first month. For more information, head to the description of this podcast where you can find the discount code and a link for more information and to sign up.
Today on the show, we have Brian Garrahan. Brian is owner of Garrahan Off-Road Training and will be hosting round 5 of the US Hard Enduro Series, the Donner Hard Enduro. And the following day, we'll be hosting the Donner Hare Scramble. We talk about the difference between the two events, course layout, and why you should come out and either race or spectate for the weekend. Enjoy. Maybe let's start with kind of a brief history of kind of you, what you do, and how long you've been doing the Donner race.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Brian Garrahan, the promoter for the Donner Hard Enduro / Hare Scramble. I've been involved in dirt bike racing for 30 some odd years now. I race professionally for KTM, racing GNCCs, ISDE, Hare Scrambles, Enduros, and all that fun stuff. I retired from racing, and now I run a off-road training business where I teach people how to ride motorcycles, and I also promote races. I've been doing that for about 7 years now. I have this really unique venue at Donner Ski Ranch up in the Lake Tahoe area. Has these really cool granite slabs, and we've done a local district race there for 4 or 5 years. The toughest race in the series, and with this Hard Enduro Series coming in, I thought it'd be a good venue to bring the series into. And then we started it last year, Hard Enduro first time, and I'm really excited for this year, the second year. Got a lot of feedback, positive and negative from last year, and I think there'll be a lot of improvements, and I think everyone's gonna have a good time. I've been starting to set up the course about a week or so ago. It's been pretty difficult. There's a lot of snow out there. I mean, there's 6 feet of snow in some places, a lot of snow drifts. So it's been a difficult task to get the course set up. I mean, it's basically like doing patchwork. We're doing sections at a time, and then I got to go back and put Band-Aids on it, is what I'm saying. So that's been a little bit difficult. And then, at the same time, setting up 2 courses, I really wanted to just focus on one course and then come back and focus on the other course. But with all the patchwork, I'm just kind of having to put it all together. So it'll all come together. I got some great volunteers that have been helping me out. And I'm really looking forward to June 11th and 12th. It should be a great event up at Donner Ski Ranch.
Yeah, I know last year, right? It was that a postponement because of snow?
No, it was more postponed because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
The Gavin Newsom date for events was 2 days before the event, so the landowner was kind of freaked out a little bit about it, so that was kind of But I was there last year on the same weekend, June 10th and 11th, setting up the course, and it was absolutely perfect. So it's warm up there. It's in the 70, 75 degrees up there, and the snow is melting fast. So, I see it melting, just making it difficult to set up the course. And as a promoter, I want it to melt. I want it to melt so I can set up the course, but I don't want it to melt too fast because I don't want it to be a dusty mess, right? So it's a hard balance to go. And to be honest with you, we've been riding on the snow on the dirt bikes. It's actually really fun. And how cool would that be to have a hard enduro that goes through the snow, just put some snakes in the snow and So I'm actually looking forward to it. We've been looking at it and trying to find some spots where we think the drifts are going to build, and actually trying to put a couple snow sections in if possible.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Super fun.
Yeah. So let's walk through the weekend. Just kind of go through maybe a little timeline on Saturday and Sunday and what the differences are from the Hare Scramble to the Hard Enduro.
Yes. So we have a local series, District 36. It's Northern California, really strong series. If you look in the, past riders, we have, just the present riders, let's take that back. We have Dante Oliveira, Mateo Oliveira, Ava Silvestri, Caitlin Jacobs, JT Baker, Justin Bonita. And then you go for the past, you have, Travis Coy, my brother, Pat Garrahan, myself, Jordan Brandt, Eric Ducray, just a line of great riders coming from District 36. And so it's a great series. She has some really good racing. Saturdays, kids. So we'll have all the kids in the morning. So that's always fun to come out and watch the kids and support the future of motorcycle racing. And then at 2:00, the Hard Enduro will kick off, and which I think will be really cool for the Hard Enduro because, we know off-road racing, doesn't do as good as Supercross because it's hard to get spectators and bring it all in. And I think, with having the District 36 event the same weekend, what is everyone going to be doing while they're racing? They're going to be out there watching, the Hard Enduro guys at the sections. And give me 1 second.
Yeah.
And again, what makes one of the things unique about the Donner Hare Scramble is that there's really, really nice spectating sections that are really accessible. So it's really cool to have the Hard Enduro and have a lot of spectators at the same time. As being a racer, that's always motivates you to come through the spectator section, and it's always good to hear some people cheering you on. And then after the Hard Enduro, we're going to have JD Hardy. He's a local up-and-coming country pop singer. We're going to have a live show at Old 40 at the Donner Ski Ranch on Saturday night at 7:00. And then starting at 9 a.m. on Sunday, we're going to have the District 36 Hare Scramble event, which would be amateurs, C riders and the B riders and then the A riders racing. So it's going to be a fun-filled weekend of racing dirt bikes. And again, Donner's super unique. There's going to be dust, there's going to be silt, there's going to be mud, there's going to be good traction, there's going to be rocks, there's going to be roots, there's going to be trees, there's going to be fire roads, hill climbs. I mean, it's going to be a true off-road race with every element that you could think of. Snow.
And snow. Great. What's the difference between, for those that maybe aren't as familiar, what's kind of the difference in terrain variance from the Hard Enduro to the Hare Scramble day?
Well, the Hare Scramble is supposed to be fun. Hard Enduro, I know those guys have something wrong with them. So, I'm going to have, there's always going to be some common course, but there's going to be a lot of alternates, and there's going to be a lot more sections for the Hard Enduro, which is, a lot slower pace, a lot more difficult, going through rock sections that are pretty difficult. We're going to have to be doing pivot turns or splatters or something like that. Where the Hare Scramble, when you're going through the rocks, it's just, steady pace through the rocks, probably more flatter elevation, not quite as difficult, So just really trying to, mix it up. The Hare Scramble is always a difficult, Hare Scramble at Donner. That's the terrain I have. You know what I mean? I can't not go through rocks because that's what is out there is rocks. You know what I mean? So you have to utilize those rocks, So I mean, that's just what it is. Unless you want to ride around the place on a fire road, which I don't want to, But yeah, it's just going to be, unique because there's multiple courses out there which the riders are going to have to pay attention to, and follow the arrows. But we're going to have some nice splits where the Hard Enduro is going to go over some rough terrain, and then we'll have some nice splits where the Hare Scramble, has some nice smooth, rolly, bermed up stuff that people are really going to enjoy.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't get a chance to go last year, but going to be out there this year and should be a lot of fun. Is there any?
Yeah, we've been.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we've been doing this race since 2016. So this will be I think we missed 1 year. So this will be the 5th year that we've been doing this race. So it's getting better every year. You kind of learn how the terrain is, and you learn how the terrain works and stuff like that. So every year, I think the race has been getting a little bit better and a little bit funner.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique spot. And this is also kind of like the Silver Mountain up there, right? Where you can't ride on this year round. Is this just specific to the race?
Yeah, this is private property. You can't ride on any of the ski resorts, up in Tahoe. So yeah, this is, like very, unique being able to get out there and ride on this ski resort for the weekend. We rent it out for the weekend and give everyone the chance to ride around, and has some, really cool granite slabs and some really nice views. And, it's just a really pretty place. It's a great place to, bring the family, and we have a lodge, so, they can go in and have food and drinks, and there's big windows so they can watch just from sitting inside the lodge, or there's a big, huge deck on the back side where they can sit on the back deck on picnic tables with umbrellas, and, that type of scene, so it's really relaxing and nice to take it all in.
Right. Being that kind of deep silt, potentially deep silt to rocks to snow and mud, any bike setup tips or tire selection or anything?
Momentum.
Momentum.
Momentum. I run Dunlop, but Dunlops are the best. So whatever Dunlop you want to run, that's the tire I recommend.
Nice. What about, I noticed on this one, spark arresters. Is that something like Idaho City where you're going to get tested and, if you don't have one, you show up, you don't have one, you're not racing kind of thing?
Yeah, California, well, even anywhere on the West is, really high fire dangers these days. And that's just, a rule we have out where we live in California. And then also it's in my contract from the landowner that you have to have a spark arrestor, so yes, there will be a check, before you race, checking to make sure your score works. And they're also going to be checking spark arresters,
Yeah.
We don't try to turn people away. We more try to, educate, right? Educate, and then, give them a chance to, try to put something together. Our object is not to have someone drive from Colorado and not race a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Our object is to, if they don't come with the spark arresters, that's the rule, right? But we're going to educate them, try and get them racing and have a good time for that weekend.
Yeah.
So, but I think everyone on the West Coast knows about spark arresters. It's not going to be like a surprise, so.
Yeah.
Usually we don't have much of a problem. There's always one or two guys,
Yeah.
Usually the factory KTM guys or Sherco guys, the problem.
Yeah. For the Hard Enduro Day, are you going to have separate lines for like Pro and A, or is everybody kind of riding the same course? What's that look like?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So yes, we are going to have some splits for the C's. The B riders are going to go in the same as the A riders, I would think. I mean, they are, at that level where they should have enough control of the bike, So yes, we will have some splits. The splits will be at the checks. I'm not sure how many checks we're going to have or how many splits we're going to have yet. I'm not going to have Josh come in and evaluate it. Personally, the less splits for me is the better. It's easier for me, right? But
yeah,
I understand. I want the C riders and the amateur riders to have a good time too. So yes, there'll be some splits in there. They're still going to get a great course, even though we're going to cut but
what about overall course length?
Usually at that place is 10 miles is about where I'm at my limits, without too many cutbacks on the course. So it's going to be between, I would say, 8 to 10 miles for the hard enduro course.
Okay. And then that's kind of like as many laps as possible within the time domain. Yeah,
the race will be as many laps as you can do. We have a 3.5 hours, that's going to not be anywhere under 3.5 hours, but I'm expecting it to be, a little over 3.5. Hopefully, the leader comes in at, 3:20 or something like that. And hopefully the laps are, an hour to 50 minutes or 2 hours long. Who knows how long they're going to be, right? And they get that extra lap in and extends that race a little bit. But we're not going to throw the flag at 3:29 or 3:28. It's going to go past that 3.5 hour mark. Give everyone some racing. Many laps as you can do. I haven't really gone around the course because it's all full of snow, so I couldn't really give you full mileage or lap times at all.
Right. Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah, I got my couldn't get my side-by-side out there yesterday. We were trying to set up course and there's snow on the main road and I couldn't even get my side-by-side out there. Basically, we had to unload the stakes and the ribbons and the arrows, and we had to put them in our laps on the dirt bikes and ride through the snow and unload stuff. And so it took us like 2 hours just to get our supplies out to where we wanted to set up the track.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty eventful yesterday.
Yeah. Are you close in weather-wise where you kind of hit that tipping point where it's starting to warm up in the evenings a little, so it keeps melting instead of refreezing?
Yeah, it's been beautiful out there. It'll get a little bit cold, way late at night, but that's definitely warmed up a lot. It's been warm and windy during the day. And the nighttime's not bad. I was out there last night coming out of the restaurant, and I was just in a t-shirt, and I wasn't like running to my van or nothing like that. So it wasn't like bone chilling cold, but it's nice air out there. It's clean, crisp air, and high elevation. So yeah, expect the racers to have a good time. That is one thing I want to say is racers that are watching this, come with your bikes jetted. There's absolutely no jetting the motorcycles on site. You can obviously jet the bike, but there's no testing the jetting that you just did. No ripping up and down the road, no ripping through the pits, no pit riding or anything like that. I will say for the people that aren't local, there's a place called Prosper Pits, and it's about 10 minutes away. It's right where the agricultural check going into Nevada is. Prosper Pits, check it out. There's a nice small little motocross track, really little trails, really easy access. So if you want to jet your motorcycle, that would be my recommendation. And you can Google it to know where it is. Don't ask me where it is. Google will tell you everything.
Great. Yeah, I know from what I heard and the friends I talked to from last year, it was a great race, but it was just really dusty. But it was also kind of mid-July, I think, right?
Yeah. When I set up the course last year, it was June. It was actually June 10th when I started setting up. It was absolutely perfect. And, it gets warm up there and it dries out pretty fast. I don't expect it to be, anywhere near like last year. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of moisture out there. I won't lie, there will be dry and dusty spots also. But I think that's what's going to make the race really cool, is that's going to have so many different elements.
Yeah.
And, and to be honest with you, that's what makes Donner what it is the, it's not, that's part of the race, is like getting through the silt beds and having your bike survive and all that stuff. That's actually one of the elements that brings it in. Yeah, some of the spots are easy, but can you get your bike through this in a safe manner and manage it? So those are two different things.
Yeah, I think it's such a cool, unique terrain. I mean, I grew up Central California in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas, and moved out to Jackson, Wyoming, and kind of early, let's see, when was it, 2006 or something. And what we ride out here now, I'm in Idaho, but just over the border. It's so different. We have real sharp edge shaly stuff, loose and dry dirt, but that kind of round granite rock is it's pretty unique.
Yeah, the big granite slabs is super unique. It's deceiving. Like you're like, oh, that's crazy, but yeah, just like sandpaper, so you get really good traction. So it's fun to make lines. The only problem is it's so cool. You can just like really just geek out on it, and it's hard to focus. Oh, I want to go here. I want to go here.
Yeah.
So it gets really hard to focus. So but yeah, you can geek out on it, and then get out of the granite, and just like we talked about, you got the other dirt. I call it the moon dust. You know what I mean? It just falls apart. So yeah, really unique terrain. Great views. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be going into granite twice in the Hard Enduro. It'll go up and go into it, ride the lower section, it'll come out, and then we're actually going to go back into it later on in the loop. So we're actually going to experience granite twice. And then I have actually a new granite section that I've never ran before that we're going to be going through. So we're actually going to have a little bit more of that granite stuff that's out there that we get to utilize this year. So I'm excited about that for sure.
Great. Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. Anything else you want to add about that weekend in particular, or maybe reminders for people, traveling? I don't know, things to bring.
Yeah, just everyone just come on out and let's have a good time. I'm going to be making an announcement on social media pretty soon. We're going to be offering a discount to the racers. We're going to do, I think, a $40 or $45 discount for the racers. So if you sign up for one of the events, you pre-enter for the Hard Enduro, and then you bring your entry form to the ladies at the Hare Scramble, and they'll give you a discount for, the $45. So practically you'll be racing for $20 or $25 the following day if you decide to race both events. Or you can look at the vice versa. You can pre-enter for the Hare Scramble and you pay your $65. And then you can bring your entry form. You can't pre-enter, but then you can bring your entry form to the Hard Enduro, and then you can get the same thing. You get the $45 or $40 discount, whatever we decide to do for the Hard Enduro. So make it a little bit cheaper, a little bit funner for everyone, so they can participate maybe in both events and have a good time. Go race dirt bikes for the weekend.
Yeah, if you're traveling quite the ways, it makes sense to get both days in.
Yeah, pay extra $20 to race the following day is sounds good to me, right? I think I would do it.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now.
Yeah. Exactly.
So bring an extra tire, bring an extra set of rims.
Yeah, there you go. How can people get a hold of you, or maybe not get a hold of you, and get info on the race if they haven't seen it yet? Or
you can go to Garrahan Off-Road Training to get some information, or you can go to the AMA District 36 website. That'd probably be the best spot to get it. They have more information than I have. Or you can go to the US Hard Enduro website and get some information from them. So pretty easy to find the information. You also can check my Facebook page, Brian Garrahan, or Garrahan Off-Road Training, or Garrahan 129M on Instagram. Do lots of updates on stories and just post about the event. And it's really easy to get to. It's just right off the freeway. You take Highway 80, you're going in there, and you just take Donner Pass Road, and you just drive down Donner Pass Road till you see a Donner Ski Ranch, and we'll be there. You'll see a bunch of big trucks with big stickers on them, and that's where the dirt bike race will be at.
Great. Well, looking forward to it, and really appreciate the time and jumping on here and getting some more info out.
Yeah, appreciate it. As we said, you can see them they're setting up course already. So we're putting some time in, trying to get the course dialed in for you guys. A lot of work with setting up two courses. I will say the Hard Enduro is going to go one direction, and then the Hare Scramble is going to go in the other directions. There will be some common course. So there will be arrows pointing both directions. There'll be different colors, but there'll be lots of markings out there, lots of ribbon out there. Gracious enough to have SRT as a sponsor and help us out with some ribbon arrows. And yeah, come on out June 11th and 12th and come racing.
Nice. Yeah. So that brings up a good point. That was a question I had. If you are doing both days, you're not going to be, because you're going opposite directions, you're still kind of hitting parts of the course that are the same, but you're not running them identically.
Yes, it has to be common course. There's no way for me not to do common course,
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll be good. They'll be going opposite directions. So okay. When you're on that common course, it'll be going a different way from, Saturday to Sunday. So really, realistically, you're kind of on a different course because the rocks are shaped differently.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So yes, yeah. So always you'll have a little bit of a layout of the course, but that's what we'll be doing, going different ways to make it a little bit more unique, like I said, so it's not as common when you are on the common course and stuff like that. And I think just it breaks it up pretty good. The Hard Enduro is going to go right. Last year, all the hard stuff was at the very end. It's going the opposite way. So this year, the Hard Enduro, most of the hard stuff will be right at the beginning.
Nice.
So we'll have the slab, we'll have spectator hill, and then we'll have granite right at the beginning. Oh, and then double A hill. So all four of the real hard section, and then Jersey. All five of those hard sections right at the very beginning. And then kind of like last year, have a little bit of that Hare Scramble stuff, you didn't get mileage. I think there needs to be mileage put into the course too, even though, I could just run all the hard stuff and bring you guys back in, but I think it's important, to have a little bit of the other stuff, you got to be able to ride everything. Just because it's a Hard Enduro doesn't mean you have to ride around in first gear the whole time. You know what I mean? I think you should be able to hit some berms and hit some off cambers and open it up a little bit. My experience of racing, that's what my favorite races were, the races that got slow and compact and you tightened up, and then they opened up and you could really let it rip and breathe a little bit, and then it slowed back down again. And I really liked that racing where it had that variety. When you went and raced, the race was just killed you the whole time, or it was wide open the whole time. Just for me, it wasn't as fun. So that's my input. So everyone has a different opinion, though, which I understand.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it's nice to have a little bit of variety in there. I remember I think the first hard enduro race I ever did was Enduro Fest in like 2018. And I think a lap took me around an hour and a half to do. And I went back and saw the mileage, and it was like 2.7 miles or something. It was funny. I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, that's pretty different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't be that slow.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what I mean? Depends. For some people it might be. There's gonna be some good I think there's gonna be some spots where some people are gonna have to, find a buddy. I really do. So we'll see. Or everyone's better than I think. You never know. People are the sport's really progressing. The riders are really getting good, so it's a hard balance, right? The top guys are so good, and then the other guys are good, but they're not as good. So it's a hard balance to set up a course for the top guys, but not make the course impossible for the other guys. You know what I mean? So it's a hard balance for the promoters. I don't think a lot of the racers understand that, how hard of a balance it is for us to, make all the riders happy, which is always going to be impossible, right? But, we want to make it the best experience for everyone.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think from the promoter side and the course layout and stuff, it's getting even more and more challenging, because I think everybody's progressing as a whole, but yeah, some of those top guys are unbelievable.
Yeah, stuff I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I'll walk it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, walk it, put an arrow on it, but yeah, no, we'll get the course out. I'm excited for Josh to come out and see what he thinks and make some changes and get his input. And yeah, it's gonna come together. It's gonna be fun. I'm really excited to have the District 36 family out there to experience the hard enduro and get them to be the spectate and watch all the top riders, Tristan and Colton and all those guys out there. And it's going to be a fun weekend of dirt biking, and friends, so live music, a bar, some alcohol, some dirt bikes, not when we're riding, but some good food. Yeah, can't beat it.
Great. Yeah, looking forward to it. So again, really appreciate coming on, and thanks for giving us some more info on the event. And we'll see you out there June 11th and 12th.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Peace, everyone. Hope to see you guys out there. If you guys have any questions, just check me out on social media, GarrahanOffRoadTraining.com, and we'll get you guys answered up.
All right. Thanks again.